when someone else needs a trap to catch a crocodile. All this guy needs is a knife around his back. It was easy to take care of the crocodile. Look at the white flesh in there. Who wouldn't like it? Try to preserve the skin. After all, they can be shoes. 100% wild alligator leather shoes. I don't even have money to buy it. I like the skewers better. You can feel the smell across the screen. What do you think would be more delicious? The challenge continued on day 18. Lindsay and Nathan had a hard time getting the shelter together. Tara had to watch from the sidelines because of her injury. The mood was rather uncomfortable. It's hard to just walk now. The rest of the way is in question. I still have a lot of survival skills to show. It's too difficult to prove. Worried that the foot would heal. He'll continue to hurt his teammates. He didn't want to go on like this. I've been thinking about quitting. The challenge doesn't fit his profile. Lindsay hoped Tara wouldn't think too much. Let's heal the foot first. She thinks we can do this together. Although Lindsay has been trying to calm Tara down, but it didn't work out very well. Instead, Tara became more negative. Nathan doesn't have time to comfort her. We have to hurry to get the shelter ready. He wouldn't bet on it not raining tonight. The worst part was the big cat droppings on the road. We have to watch out for it at night. Nathan found the challenge too difficult. If the body is too tired, he wants to build a shelter somewhere else. What was the sudden noise? So scared, Nathan ran back to the shelter. Adam and Amber are so weak right now. I don't know if I've picked up a parasite. The stomach is very uncomfortable. You can't eat fish. There are only a few berries left to taste. There's still a long way to go. Adam doesn't want to do anything right now. Just lay on it and rest. Amber's a little better off. Got to get some food for energy, despite worries about parasites. But Amber could only risk catching some fish. I hope I can get one without bugs. Would you dare to eat the fish here? The fish here are pretty easy to catch. As soon as he said that, the fish broke free and went back into the water. Amber told herself the fish must have parasites. It makes me feel a little better. We caught a lot of fish. I don't know how many fish we'll be able to eat. Fortunately, 3 fish are safe. Amber will bring it back to Adam immediately. I said I didn't see any parasites, but Adam still feels a little panicked. I'm afraid I'll be completely cold after eating. If you don't eat, your body can't handle it. Just cook the fish as well as possible. He really doesn't want to get parasites. Kayla's team hasn't finished their little crocodile yet. Keep a happy mood every day. There was no thought of finding food at all. I'm afraid they'll never get meat again. Mallory was anxious about it too. Kayla and Dong don't think so, do they? I'm sure we can catch an alligator in the back. Mallory had no choice but to set his own trap. It smells pretty bad. I almost knocked her out. Place the bait above the water. Hopefully, this will attract the crocodiles. Lindsay heard thunder outside again. The fire hasn't been lit yet. There isn't much dry wood around. I'm afraid I'll be shivering at night. It's a good thing Tara kept the spark in good condition, so they can light the fire. So far, I'm barely able to live. Trying to sleep better. We still need to find a way to strengthen the shelter. I had a good night's sleep. Suddenly, I heard a big cat. Scared 3 people quickly up alert, just hanging out next door to the shelter. The photographer was so scared he wanted to run. Fortunately, the thunder sounded just then. This drove the big cat elsewhere. Things aren't going so well for Adam either. Even next to a fire, I still feel cold as hell. Tara's been leaking all over this shelter. Watch the fire all night to keep it from going out. Kara's team has no problem with this fire. It's just the jerky's all wet. We must eat all the crocodile meat in a few days, or it's just gonna stink. How happy I was eating during the day. How sad it is now. You have to get the water outside manually. I won't have to sleep all night. Everyone must keep working until the rain stops. I barely made it to dawn. The body that is tired can't. There's no food, no fire. It's back to where it started. The rain last night was way over the top. The shelter could collapse at any moment. That's all that matters now. Eat all the crocodile meat into your stomach. They don't want to wait until it stinks before throwing it away. Fortunately, the rain did not wash away the bait. There's still a chance of attracting a crocodile. Mallory could smell it from a mile away. Kayla doesn't believe alligators can stand it. In addition to setting traps, The shelter needs to be strengthened. Gather the materials to rekindle the fire. They really don't have much time. Right here, when Kayla set up the bait. Looks like a crocodile went into the water. Call a partner to look for it immediately. I looked around the neighborhood. I actually saw an alligator walking around there. The size that's really big. It made them very happy. We have to find a way to catch it. Nathan and Lindsay are still busy fixing the shelter. There was a leak in a big cat last night. It's impossible to sleep. Tara, both physically and mentally. She felt like she was reaching her limit. Looks like you want to quit the challenge. Lindsay is still searching the jungle for usable materials, like these palm leaves and banana leaves. It's perfect for roofing. At least make sure it doesn't put out the fire when it rains. Tara's not lying down right now. Just sit there in a daze. If we go on like this, we'll be defunct. Wanted to try walking and help collect firewood. Or go on a food hunt, although his teammates want Tara to get some rest. But she just got up and got to work. Or you might as well quit the challenge and go home. Lindsay couldn't talk her out of it. Let's hope we don't run into a big cat on the way. So the three men went into the jungle to hunt. Adam and Amber feel worse and worse. Lack of food combined with parasites. Adam felt like he was going to faint at any moment. Now it's up to Amber to find food. Adam was hoping that lying down would be a little better. Stomach pain is worse than usual today. Trying to make it through 40 days. The best thing is to catch another crocodile. Amber really wants to get her hands on the gator too. But judging by his physical condition, I can only see it home. Suddenly, I saw a fruit fall. Is this the gift of nature? It tastes a bit like apples. Amber was rather fond of it. If only I could gather more to eat. The body will get some energy back. After a busy time, Amber collected quite a few. Then we can bring it home for Adam to taste. As she thanked nature, suddenly a big rat ran past his feet. Maybe we could set a trap and eat it. Ambona was quite satisfied with this exploration. You can share it with Adam. Tara's on the hunt with her sore feet. She thinks she's more than capable of hunting. In theory, animals come out to wander after rain, but didn't see anything the whole way. The mood is getting lower and lower. It was only with difficulty that I noticed a bird in the tree. Tara's trying to get closer. As soon as you're in range, take your bow and aim. The bird just looked at Tara. I didn't pay any attention to her. Tara was so mad, she took an arrow right at him. She clearly needs to work on her archery. Lindsay thought it was a waste of time and energy. Might as well be trying to catch a crocodile. Tara thinks it's just luck. I'm sure we'll catch it next time. Amber came back with the fruit to share. They talked about making a trap to catch mice. Adam's not really in the mood right now. All I wanted was to put that fruit in my mouth. The taste is really delicious. If I could eat it every day, I'm sure my body can recover. Adam's been resting there lately. I'm just feeling a little better now. Luckily, Amber was there to find food. Otherwise, you're going to have to call the show on your own. Amber's going to build a simple L7 trap. It's just two sticks stuck together. The other side is wired together. As soon as it gets inside the noose, it will trigger the trap and grab you immediately. Amber thinks there's still a chance. As long as there's food to fuel it, there's still a chance to complete the challenge together. Amber set the trap in a relatively open area. She believed the fruit would attract rats. Everything will work out for the best. Lindsay dug up some worms as bait to go fishing. This side of the river is wider. Maybe we can catch a big fish. Too bad, we've only seen small fish so far. The mood is getting more and more irritable, and Nathan goes further afield in search of food. I've only been able to eat a few fruits along the way. Wilderness survival is all about exploration. See if you can find any more useful resources. When Nathan was walking, he saw some grass. What was there? Get a stick under control right now. I didn't expect a little lizard, although the size of that is pitifully small. But we can get something to eat. Your mood will improve. It's so small, you could just rip it open with your hands. I didn't think I could pull out an egg. Even if you don't eat it, you can use it as bait for Lindsay. We didn't see any big fish today. Instead of wasting time and energy like this, might as well go back to the shelter and rest. Tara's health was already very weak. If it wasn't for the fat, I'm way past the challenge of quitting. Nathan's back at the shelter. Lindsay sees lizards and lizard eggs. The mood just got a little better. There's so little meat, it's just a mouthful. The more you eat, the hungrier you feel. I wonder when we're going to get our big meal. By night, Adam's shelter was no longer able to keep out the mosquitoes. You can hear the hum all night. I can't get a good night's sleep. Adam would rather go fishing than stay in a shelter. I didn't realize I was just trying to pass the time and actually let him catch a catfish. The size is quite large. There's no parasites in there. We can have a nice dinner tonight. Amber's already asleep. I'm not woken up by the smell of meat. Adam had no choice but to eat it with tears in his eyes. The mood is getting better and better. He thought he just had to keep it up. I'm sure I can complete this challenge. Kayla's team would be asleep by now. I didn't expect a crocodile to take the bait. That made Mallory so happy. Wake up your team immediately and go hunting. Kayla thought she could wait for the alligator to struggle. Wait till he's exhausted enough to bring it up. For now, it can only be illuminated by the lights of the equipment. Hunting at night can be dangerous. That's way out of Kayla's hands. Go straight into the water and contain the crocodile. But its desire to live is a frantic struggle. There's no choice but to wait until daylight. The challenge is on its 20th day. The first thing Mallory does when she wakes up is look for the crocodile. All the ropes of the trap have been ripped. The good news is the crocodile is still in the water. Now take the time to set up the trap. The only way to be sure is to catch the crocodile. The body is strong enough to complete the challenge. They don't have much time left. Adam and Amber may be a little weak, but mentally I'm fine. Amber doesn't know Adam had a midnight snack last night. He thought it was selfish. You can only blame your body for desperately needing food. We're in the second half of the challenge. Need to plan the rest of the way. We need time to get better. Amber's trap was triggered. Too bad you didn't catch anything to eat. Now all I can do is rearrange the trap. The next step is to gather some firewood. For the Terra group, it's a pretty amazing thing to be here. We have a long way to go. Some food is urgently needed for energy. I haven't had an alligator in my whole life. That's not what the show says at all. The biggest fear is the search for food. Heard a sound in the trees. Can't be the big cat out for a walk. People are so nervous. Lindsay looked around carefully. Suddenly I saw a crocodile over there. If we can catch this, don't worry about food for the next few days. Get behind the crocodile and try to sneak up. The crocodile thought it was a good disguise. The next thing you know, Tara's got it. It's not that big though, but it was quite satisfactory for her. Tara thought she could do it again. Persevering is sure to complete the challenge. It's not time to cry. Get rid of the crocodile before it's too late. It's a lot faster with 3. Look at all the white fat in there. I just want to put it in my mouth. Peeling is going well so far. The alligator meat was quickly pulled off. Go back and dry and smoke the meat. It'll keep longer this way. Make sure you eat some meat every day. Lindsay thinks that's the beauty of survival in the wild. Only those who have experienced it will understand how great it is. The offal you don't eat can be used as bait. Whether fishing or catching other is a good choice. After all this work, you can go home and have a good meal. To make sure the meat doesn't spoil, just rearrange the shelter. The meat is smoked on top of the fire. You can smell meat to sleep tonight. It's been too long without meat. It feels like butter melts straight away. This is so delicious. No wonder everyone wants to hunt crocodiles. Just looking at the meat rack up there, Tara's already feeling pretty satisfied. Today's main task is to eat until you vomit. I need all this to get my strength back. She felt the challenge was like starting over. Have the energy to do more. Everyone is very confident that they can complete the challenge. Kayla's team is not so happy here. There was no crocodile and a storm. The mood was pretty low. The shelter's not going to be able to hold up. You just keep adding leaves to it. The body was shivering with cold. This weather is too much torture. Adam's side is even bleaker. The rain blew right into their faces. The fire is barely holding. I'm afraid it won't stop. It's really hard for the body to resist the cold. The Terra team has been eating crocodile meat here and there. Didn't even collect firewood. To make sure the smoked meat goes smoothly, wait till the rain eases up and get some to burn. The rain didn't stop until dark. It feels like it's getting bigger and bigger. Adam and Amber had to hold themselves close to the fire. The water level down there has risen quite a bit. I'm glad this shelter is high enough. At least you don't have to worry about the water coming up. Kayla's group is already flooded. The fire could go out at any moment. It was a terrible time. If it doesn't stop raining tomorrow, they had to move to higher ground. I barely made it to dawn. The water has risen a lot here with Adam and Amber. If that storm had lasted a few more days, the shelters are going to be flooded. Looks like it's time to move somewhere else. The prairie, 7 miles away, is a good choice. It's a long way from the evacuation point. Pack up and get out of here today. The doctor came to check on Adam. Much better than before. Adam can continue the challenge. Just drink plenty of hot water to keep your body running. Amber's hanging heart is finally able to let go. Try to fill your stomach with as much food as possible today. Then lie down and rest until you leave. Tara was watching the fire all night. Luckily, the jerky didn't get wet. The smoke was so perfect. Take the bones to the soup today. Serve with grilled meat. The little days are getting better and better. And Nathan keeps stuffing meat in his mouth. He needs the fat to recover. Lindsay had never eaten crocodile meat before. She didn't expect the meat to taste so good. Too bad there's no seasoning to cook with. But it's also delicious. I hope I can eat it when I get back. Luckily, Tara didn't give up the challenge. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to eat such delicious food. Kayla had the worst of it. The rain had flooded the shelter last night. There are a lot of things that need to be done right now. Kayla hasn't given up on catching crocodiles. It's just that the pond has risen quite a bit here. It's going to be harder to catch crocodiles. Amber was going to catch some fish. But the water is rising quite a bit here. Getting food became more difficult. There was no choice but to go back and starve. There are too few resources around. After a brief discussion, decided to move somewhere else tomorrow. At night, however, there were too many mosquitoes. It's impossible to get a good night's sleep. Seriously affect the body's rest. Adam would rather be night fishing than at the shelter. I have to say the evening fishing was good. With a lot of work, I managed to get several fish. Sneak a late-night snack by yourself. If I were Amber, I'd quit the challenge. Kayla's got another alligator on her way. They can't afford to let the food go. Head over to the pond now. It's bigger than I thought. The crocodile tried to get away. They immediately followed and took control. After some busy work, the crocodile was finally taken down. Now we have time to get rid of the crocodile. Lindsay used the stinky entrails as bait. Hopefully, this will attract the crocodiles again. Although the layout is a little simple, but it can hold the weight of a crocodile. Adam and Amber are ready to move. Adam was glad he had eel last night. I'm sure we can make it through today. Amber heard the eel that was rather confused. Who would have thought a teammate would steal it? This really pissed Amber off. People think Adam was cheating, right? Amber can't forgive him anyway. Kayla's been busy with the gators. It's just too big, enough to feed them for days. Try to eat more today to replenish your strength. We can't waste anything we can eat. Part of the meat is smoked on the grill. You need to keep drying and smoking for at least 3 or 4 days. The finished product looks pretty good. Happy days are back, as long as it doesn't rain hard in the back. The next thing is to keep eating it. And the Terra team is busy making shoes out of alligator skin. It's been tanned to perfection. It can withstand rocks and thorns. Just a little short on crocodile skin. You can only make 1 pair of shoes. The finished product looks good. Amber's still mad at Adam, but we still have to move somewhere else together. I don't know how long it's going to take. As time goes by, the temperature is getting higher and higher. The body is already dehydrated. Amber hasn't had meat in a long time. When Adam wasn't feeling well, he just lay back and enjoyed it. Got food and didn't share it. If Amber gets so tired that she collapses, that must be Adam's pot. Amber no longer had the strength to speak. Just need a quick place to rest. How about Adam keeps asking? So angry Amber just wanted to slap him. I suddenly felt very sick. Amber's situation is pretty bad. She thinks it's Adam's pot. After a short break, Amber wanted to move on. Do you think they're going to make it? Let's wait and see.